So this will be the final step in the mini lesson. So the word sort was just a means to an end. I wanted to do the word sort with the students of terms they've already seen or they've already heard in class and lecture and worksheets. They've taken notes on it. But sometimes for a lot of students with special needs, that's not enough. They need reinforcement of the terms, they need to practice them, and they need to commit them to the memory. So my goal with this foldable here is to take the words that we sorted into the categories that I gave them, write them down, put the definition, put the things about each word or each term that they need to remember so that they have a document or something that they can take with them and study. This little foldable is easy to pick up. It fits in a notebook. They can take it with them. They can take it home. It's easy to find where the stuff is because we've labeled each category so that when they come to a question on a test, they can just open it right up and say, oh, well, I know this person is obviously under people, or that was an act. So I'm going to open up to that section and find out which one it's talking about. Because where I teach, a lot of teachers do this. They do them in math. They put down equations and notes. They do them in science. I do them in U.S. history with my self-contained special ed students. We do some foldables, not necessarily like this, but we do foldables in some of the English classes. So, students are used to doing this, at least where I teach. So, from one class to another, it kind of gets easier, when everybody is doing these, for students to see the value in them and see that, hey, this really can help maybe keep me organized and I can use it to study with. And in my classes, in the co-taught classes that I'm in, and I know a lot of the other classes, teachers allow students to use their notes on tests, and these count as notes. So students can use these on the test. And so that's kind of down here at the bottom. I had 2 little sections left over. So I thought that with this foldable that I put questions on here. So I thought, if students are in a general ed class or in a co-taught class, sometimes special ed students don't always like to speak up, draw attention to themselves, be embarrassed if they have a question. And so I put this section here so that if they have any questions throughout the class, there's something they don't understand, at the end of the hour, they can jot some notes down. They can come ask me those questions if it was in a co-taught class. If they were coming to me for a resource or for extra help, they could say, hey, I didn't understand this in class today. Could you help me figure it out? And I can help them answer it. Or they could even go talk to their general ed teacher if it's available, or if their questions are there. Also, in my self-contained room, I would maybe use this as some kind of an exit ticket. I would say, okay, write down something that you still don't understand or something that maybe got you thinking today. And I could put that in there, and then the next day I could address it and say, hey, I know maybe a couple people didn't understand this, and go back and reinforce that. And then, like I said, additional notes, the students can write anything, if they look something up in the textbook, if they look up a theme or a concept that we were talking about that maybe they don't understand. Maybe they can make some drawings there. Like when we talk about the progressive era, we talked about dumbbell tenements. And under groups and places, one of the terms is a tenement, but maybe they want to draw a picture of what a dumbbell tenement looks like. So they put it in the additional notes, because anything that's in this document, they'd be able to use on the test or quiz. So I'm going to flip through this really quickly so you can kind of see how this goes. So I put the title of the overall concept here that we're reinforcing, that we're trying to get deeper meaning for. So you can see I took all the words that we sorted under acts and laws, and I listed them here. All the students that all the students at my school have Chromebooks, so they'd be able to go up and go look this up. They'd be able to look in their notes and find information. They could use the textbook, and I would let them work with partners or in their word sort groups to fill this information out and make sure that they had all of it. So the policies and I actually filled some of these out so you could see, some of the basic information. Plessy versus Ferguson, I put a date. Supreme Court ruled separate but equal is legal. We've already talked about it, but the gist or the basic information that I want them to get out of it is that. The Jungle, the novel by Upton Sinclair, I put the date. We read an article about the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, so maybe I would have them go back to that and write some information there. 3 different amendments that happened during the Progressive Era. There's actually another one, which is the 17th Amendment, but this isn't government class, and it's not one that they're going to be assessed on in the end of this particular unit, so I didn't write that down. And then, you know, some other things there that we had sorted into this area. You know, people, it has the list of who we're talking about, who are the main people that they need to know. So they need to make a few little notes about each one of those people. Groups and places, again, you know, they can make any notes in here. They could draw little pictures if they wanted. They could go to the internet. They could print something and glue it down if they wanted. But this is just, you know, I didn't write anything there because I didn't have any questions yet, but sometimes students do. But this foldable is just a really nice strategy to organize students, to categorize key terms and things that they need to know, and to have something with them that they can study with, and to see how all of these things relate to the Progressive Era. Thank you.